What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Chatting with Jacob episode. I've been seriously loving doing these little videos with you guys. I think that they're really cool and you guys seem to be responding really well to them, so I'm going to keep doing them. Today what we're going to be doing is talking about 3 of the artists that really influenced the way that I make music and really changed the way that I make music. But before we get into that, if you are a musician yourself and you make music yourself and you want to release your music, I highly recommend you check out DistroKid. There's a link in my bio. You can save 7% on the first year subscription. I highly recommend them. They're the distributor that I use personally. They're really fast to get your music out there and you keep 100% of the royalties, so definitely check them out. They're super innovative. Link in the description. So 3 of the artists, these aren't in any particular order. I've just noticed that they've really influenced the way that I made music. I would say, starting at number 1, the most influential artist that has changed my music and my production and the way that I make music has to be, it's a specific song actually, and it's Niall Horan's song Slow Hand. In the way that he produces that song, he has this very distinct way of producing the vocals. There's actually a video on it online, and actually that's where I kind of learned how to get that style. It has a noise gate on it, it has a very close echo, a very close reverb, gives this very distinct sound where it's actually cutting off his words before he's finished saying them. And I loved the way that it sounded. I thought it was so cool. So I was like, I want to try doing that. And then when I finally found the video of how they produced the vocals, I was pumped. I started doing it on all my vocals. You can hear it on a lot of the songs that I have, but mainly in particular, for example, like How You're Feeling has it pretty significantly. The new song We Got It, the choruses have that where it's like this noise gate. It's a little less, but more so How You're Feeling has that a lot. But that one, I do it on a lot of my vocals, has this noise gate kind of feel. This in Logic it's called the N-verb, which is like this very close metallic sounding reverb. I think it's such a cool effect and I really like it. The next artist that I would say really influenced my vocals or my singing and my production has to be Ed Sheeran. He was one of the first artists that I've noticed. And now a lot of artists do this now, and there's probably plenty of artists that did it beforehand, but he was one of the first artists that I noticed did layering of vocals where it was an octave up vocal and it was an octave down vocal. And not so much I'm not talking harmonies here, I'm actually talking straight parallel octaves. So if I'm singing a melody like, we got that good thing, he might have an, we got that good thing, or we got that good thing, you know, just really, probably more the high one, but I really liked how he would layer these falsetto or full voice, head voice octaves on top. So if I'm singing something else, why can't you just tell me, instead you leave me, yes, why can't you just tell me, instead you leave me, yes. He always had this layered octave up falsetto or head voice, and I thought that was really cool, and I do that a lot in my own music. More particularly not so recently, I would say more like a year or 2 ago. You'll see it a lot, octave up, octave down, layered. What it'd be is a main octave right in the center and then pan left and right, either octave down or octave up depending on where I'm singing, and that will highly influence the way that I made music. Now the third one's actually a toss-up. It's like a part A and part B. The artist that I would really say influenced, not so much broad scheme, but more so like a specific thing, is the 1975 in their guitar work. I'm a big fan of how they pulled like these 70s, 80s guitar, staccato guitar like rhythms and arpeggios, and I really like the way that they incorporate the staccato guitar playing of that time period. I think that they do a really good job at it. They do really cool harmonies, and the guitar work is really highly underrated actually. So I would say that there's a lot of guitar influence in there, but that's hard to say because I think that I've been influenced by so many different guitar players over time, and I mean I've listened to so much guitar work and I listened to so many different things of guitar. You know, I could have even said that I was highly influenced by Ed Sheeran with the way I play the guitar, because when I first started writing music, I was a huge fan of his, and he didn't use a pick, so I'm like, I'm not gonna use a pick. You know, like I was just super influenced by a lot of people with guitars, so that's hard. I could say that the Fray highly influenced me too, because they are one of my biggest top bands that I listen to all the time, and I listen to their music probably more than anybody else's. Isaac Slade, the main singer of that band, his voice was so high compared to mine when I first started singing out, and I was like, there's no way I could reproduce any of this kind of music, the piano rock. But actually, if you look back in my first couple genres, I have 70, 80 songs out there, at least my first 50 have a very heavy Fray vibe to them, where it's a little bit more edgy, but like definitely has a piano, guitar, rock vibe to it. Now more so a little bit more pop, alternative pop, but in the beginning highly influenced by Ed Sheeran too. So you know, you could hear the layered harmonies, the octave ups, octave downs. So those are 3 artists and three different genres that actually really influenced the way that I produce music lately. I would say the most that's really affected though, like you can hear that I'm like straight up like trying to reproduce what this guy did, was Slow Hands by Niall Horan. I think that production on that song is unbelievable, and I think it's just super unique too. It's like It's one of the first times I've heard somebody do something like that. I was like, that is so cool. I want to try to do that. So I'd love to know if you're a musician yourself, who influenced you, how you were influenced. If you're not a musician, but do something else, like you're an artist or you're a writer or anything like that, a poet, let me know who influenced you in the comments below. And if you're a musician and you want to release your own music, definitely check out DistroKid. I highly recommend them. That's personally who I use. Get your music out there super quick. One of the best parts about them, and this has been the best part for a while, is it's one yearly fee and you can release as much music as you want. Where a lot of other distributors, you have to pay per song, and I release a lot of music. So it's great that I could just release, and only pay one time. So save 7% in the description. See you in the next video. God bless. Have a great day. Have a great Restituto day. I'm sorry I messed up my own line.